So hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today marks our second segment for Houseplant Pest 101. So today we'll be talking about scale insects. So scale insects belong to the group Coccoidea of hemipterans. Scale insects are not your typical insects. The females doesn't actually look like normal insects because they have protective covering and they range from round, elongated, all sorts of form. There are even like concave, some are flat, so they all appear on different forms. That's why if you're not familiar with scales, probably you will miss them in your plants. Probably you'll think it's just a blemish, because that's the problem with scales. You will have a hard time finding it, and then when there's already a big infestation, that's the time that you will actually spot them, because they usually comes in colony. Male scales looks like fungus gnats, but they don't feed. And then the crawlers, they're actually the ones who are mobile, who transfers from one host to another. And then of course the eggs. So once the immature stages called crawlers starts feeding, they don't anymore move. So that's already a sedentary female. So once you check scale insects under the stereo microscope, you can see a stylet. It's the same stylet as the mealybugs, but it doesn't have that fluffy, waxy covering. Usually found on stems or on the underside of the leaf, but pretty much they can be found anywhere, so you just have to look closer. So under that superfamily Coccoidea, armored scale of the family Diaspididae, and then soft scale of the family Coccidae. Armored scale, from the word itself, is covered with armor. So the insect is actually separated from the armor itself, while the soft scale, you can separate the insect and its protective covering. So that's one of the difference. And another difference is that armored scale doesn't produce honeydew, while soft scale produce honeydew. Armored scale can't, once they've developed into an adult, they can't move. Soft scale, they can, but they usually don't move. So yeah, that's the main difference. And again, they comes in different forms, so you just have to be very careful. I'll try to show some like images of armored scales and soft scales in this video. In the weekend, I saw armored scales on my Haworthia. I bought that in the market, and then yeah, I actually just did not look closer, and then while I was watering it, then I saw some scales. How do you control scales? I would not, again, I won't recommend chemicals, because you'll be spraying inside your home. And then also, because of their protective covering, it's not all chemicals that can penetrate into the scales. So what I did with my scales is actually just using my fingernails, just remove them. And then for short, like for small plants, you can just wash it off in the sink. So you can readily use that. You can readily do that. And then others also use alcohol, the same that I did for mealybugs. So yeah, you can use that. And also, you can have insecticidal soap. You can make your own, like a mild soap, water, that kind of mixture. And then there's also that neem oil. Neem oil is actually good. Like many are using it against scale insects. And it also leaves a protective covering. Serves as protectant as well, aside from controlling the scale insects. And then there's the biological control. But again, just use mostly physical control if I can, especially if the infestation is just low. So stick with, you don't have to spend anything, just your time. So that's actually what I did with plant. You should look closer in your plant because like mine, I thought it was just in the surface, and then when I uprooted the plant, there's a lot of scales in the base, so it was not good. And then one way, aside from physical, biological, or non-chemical control, you should also repot your plant just in case that there are crawlers or eggs on the root system. So just